What you're looking for, you can find it here on the whole TV. What you're looking for, what you're looking for, you can find it here on the whole TV. What you're looking for, whoa, welcome to the whole TV. What you're looking for, you can find it here on the whole TV. What you're looking for, what you're looking for, you can find it here on the whole TV. What you're looking for, whoa, welcome to the whole TV. What you're looking for, you can find it here on the whole TV. What you're looking for, what you're looking for, you can find it here on the whole TV. What you're looking for, whoa. What you're looking for, you can find it here on the whole TV. What you're looking for, what you're looking for, you can find it here on the whole TV. What you're looking for, whoa, welcome to the whole TV.
Set up free, y'all. Set up free, y'all. Set up free, y'all. Yes, I am. Set up free, y'all. Set up free, y'all. Set up free, y'all. Ooh. Yes, I am.
One thing we can all say, if you still have breath in your body, that you're still here. In spite of all that has happened, in spite of all that has occurred, nothing is an accident. You're alive because there's more. God knows the plans He has for me. He knows the thoughts He thinks towards me. And nothing is an accident. I'm alive because there's more. Yeah. Can we all sing that in one voice? God knows the plan He has for me. He knows the thought He thinks towards me. And nothing is an accident. Yeah. As these words begin to just penetrate the atmosphere, I want you to sing them one more time with us. God knows the plan He has for me. He knows the thoughts He thinks towards me. And nothing is an accident because there's more. Sing, I'm alive. Yeah, I'm alive. Yeah, this is not an accident. Oh, Thank you, God, for my life, my health, and my strength. Thank you for preserving me for a time such as this. Yeah, God knows the plan He has for me. He knows the thoughts He thinks towards me. And nothing is an accident, because it's more. Hey, God knows the plan He has for me. He knows the thoughts He thinks towards me. And nothing is, because this morning, say I'm alive. Yeah. Thank you for keeping me, Jesus. And this, nothing is, it's not an accident, because this morning, say I'm alive. You kept me here. You preserved me here. You planted me here. And this is not because this morning, say I'm alive. Yeah, Lord, you healed my body, told me to run on. And this is not an accident. Nothing that I go through, y'all. One more time. I'm alive. I'm still here. Hey, I'm alive. It's not an accident. Because this morning, say I'm alive. Because this morning, I'm still here. Because this morning, you kept me here. Because this morning, you keep me here. Because this morning, there's a little more left in you. Because this morning, there's a little more pride in you. Because this morning, there's a little more strength in you. Because this morning, there's a little more hope in you. Because there's more. Say I'm alive. Because there's more. I'm alive. Because there's more. Because there's more. There's more in the future. That's why I'm still here. There's more in days to come. There is more. Greater is to come. There is more. Greater to be done. Because there's more. Blessed in the city. Blessed in the fields. Blessed in my going out. Blessed in my coming in. There's a little more pride in you. Because there's more. There's a little more strength in you. Because there's more. There's a little more hope in you. Because there's more. Say I'm alive. Because there's more. I'm alive. Because there's more. Because there's more. There's more in the future. That's why I'm still here. There's more in days to come. There is more. I'm alive. I'm alive. I'm alive. And this is not an accident. I'm alive because there's more. He didn't let me die. He didn't let me die. Even when I tried, he wouldn't let me die. He wouldn't let me die. And I think it's an accident. Oh, nothing is an accident. Oh, the pain, it hurt, but it wasn't an accident. Oh, the rejection, it hurt, but it wasn't an accident. 'Cause all things work together. It's not an accident. I'm alive, still alive, still alive. Said I'm still alive. Said I'm still alive because there's more. If you know that there's more, I dare you to open your mouth and give God a praise right there. Give him a praise that is continual, that does not stop. Why? Because his love and his mercy and his protection, it keeps on going. It keeps us here. It keeps me revived. It keeps picking me up and turning me around and placing my feet on solid ground. Thank you for keeping me alive.
My God, my God, my God. And this is not an accident. This is not coincidence. This is not an incident. This is not an experiment. This is not coincidence. It's divine providence. That you and I here, we're still alive because there's more. Woo! My God, if that doesn't lift your heart, if that doesn't lift your spirits, to know that we're here because God has more. We're alive because God has more. I don't know how difficult it may feel right now, how tough it may be. And that song does not mean that there won't be any tough moments. That song does not mean that some things won't happen that will try to take you out of here. But the fact that you are a survivor, the fact that I'm a survivor lets us know that God is not finished with us. Yet God has more in store. Oh, and our lives in his hands. My God. So I know I can make it. I know I can take it. I know I can stand no matter what comes my way. Your life and my life are in God's hands. To God be the glory. And if you're alive today, let everything that have breath praise ye the Lord. That song, I want to thank Lawrence, our worship leader, and our praise team for blessing us. That song just does something to me. My God, and this is not an accident. I'm alive because there's more. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. You know, I'm still basking in my birthday celebration. I'm going to celebrate for 30 days. And what a song as I contemplate another year of life and just walked another year of life. What a powerful message. And I want you to be encouraged that life is worth the living. That's more because he lives. And so blessings to you on this Wednesday, July the 6th. I'm so glad to be here with you. So good to see you, Tina Williams from Fort Valley, Georgia, Dr. Ron Lester, Krista Cooper, Fayetteville, North Carolina, Kelly Cordova. Blessings to you, Kelly. Glad to have you on YouTube with us. Everybody who's tuning in today, whether you're watching Apple TV, Roku, Twitch, Amazon, Fire TV, YouTube, Facebook. Jesse Snellings is here from the deck, from Decatur, where it's greater. Blessings to you. Glad to have you here with us. And I want you to drop me a line and let me know the city, state, country from which you're viewing. Blessings to you, Minister Dixon, Cat Braxton, Memphis. Blessings to you. Glad to have you here with us. Listen, I'm alive. You are alive because there's more. My goodness, I hope you're encouraged by that. Man, Lawrence just sings that thing with such power. Celeste Burrow, blessings to you. Felicia Jackson from Lakeland, Florida, blessings to you. Glad to have you here with us on YouTube. Everybody drop me a line. Let me know the city, state, country from which you're viewing. Such a privilege that you're here with us. I'm trying to get myself together. But I'm still right down that song of Veronica Huff. Blessings to you. I'm trying to get beyond that thing, but that thing got me real good. I'm alive because there's more. Blessings to you. That's right, house folk. There is more. There is more. I don't care what you've been through, how dark it has been. You got to believe that. And that song just, my goodness. Rich Tobin, my friend, wrote that song, and what a powerful song. But the way Lawrence delivers that song, my God. Yes, I'm alive because there's more. That's right, Kat. I love it too. And I hope anybody who's struggling with those possibilities, there's more. That's right, Crystal. I'm alive because there's more. All right, I got to move on beyond that, but I could have stayed there a few more minutes. I could have stayed there a few more minutes. My goodness. And I want you to receive the moreness of the life that Christ brings. He said, I came that you might have life and that you have it more. Teresa Reese, Wonderland, blessings to you. Teresa from the Decatur, blessings to you. Yeah, Jesus, I want you to have it more abundantly. Yeah, I came that you might have life and that you have it more, and there's more. I want you to believe that. All right, I gotta move on beyond that thing that was powerful. To God be the glory. I'm alive because there is more. That I don't know who needed to hear that today, but that's right, Adrian. That's right. That's right. He will let me die. He will let me die. Sometimes we can testify. It's not that blessing to you, Sean. It's not that sometimes you've gone through things that made you feel like you were going to die. Some of you have gone through things that make you just want to die. But he won't let you die. He won't let you give up because there's more. There is more. And I hope you get that. I hope you receive that in your spirit on today. All right. Welcome, everybody who's tuned in. I pray that you're blessed and walking in the favor of God. I'm grateful for another day. I'm grateful for life being as well as it is. And I'm glad to see you today. And thank you for tuning in and for dropping us a line and checking in. That's right. It kept me alive. I'm a living testimony. Could have been dead and gone, but the Lord let me live on. I thank the Lord I'm still alive. Yes, yes, to God be the glory. Blessings to you, Dewana from North Carolina. Glad to have you here with us. So appreciative to all of you. Listen, those who are here, I appreciate you. Do me a favor. If you're watching through a platform that will allow you to subscribe, like, comment, share. Thank you, Sister Snellings. If this is your first time watching, just type in the number 1. And that way our family can know. I know our family will know that you're watching for the first time and welcome you to our community. But if you're watching through a platform that will allow you to subscribe, to like, to comment, or to share, please go ahead and do that. Go ahead and subscribe, like, comment, share. And that way you can help us get the word out. You help our platform to grow. I'm so excited. Some great things are happening for Hope TV, and we want to grow the platform even more. On this past Friday, we were able to make a huge headway toward the next step for Hope TV, and I'm hoping we have this thing consummated shortly. But a huge deal. It's a big deal. She put number 1 in. Just welcome Veronica Hull. With your family on with the family on Facebook, welcome Veronica. She typed in number 1, not just 1, but she typed in number 1. But y'all let her know she's welcome. Welcome. Glad to have you here with us. But Friday was a huge deal. And so I want you to subscribe, like, comment, or share. I want you to get on board now because some great things are happening for Hope TV. We're getting ready to take this thing to an entirely different level. Yes, my goodness. I'm talking about a whole nother level. My goodness. And so we made it to the first step on this past Friday. And I got to do a few more things. And the legal people, our attorneys and all of them are working through all the jargon. But it's going to be huge. When I tell you huge, humongous blessing that's coming our way. And I'm thankful. Blessings to you, Lucretia Chapman. Glad to have you with us. So subscribe, like, comment, share to help us get the word out. Hope TV is doing some amazing things. If you've not yet checked out our Hope TV page, we have a new website it's climbing, Tina. When I tell you it's climbing, and those of you who've been with us from day one, you're going to be mind blown because I'm mind blown. Blessings to you, Marlon. When I tell you I'm mind blown, my mind is blown with the favor of God. When God's hand is in it, there's no limit. That's all I can tell you. And we just got to learn to take the brakes off of God. Yeah, we got to take the brakes off God. Sometimes when I preach, I don't know when I started. It's been about 30 years. When the people not responding sometimes or it's getting tight, I tell them, y'all got the brakes on me. Blessing to Yolanda. Well, the truth is sometimes we got the brakes on God. Amen. We got to take the brakes off of God. Blessing to you, Geneva. And let God do what God wants to do in our lives. Let's agree with him. Yeah, so anyway you bless me, I'll be satisfied. And I'm telling you, family, it's some amazing things that happen. Blessings to you, amen. So I'm excited. So y'all be in prayer. If you've not checked out the Hope TV website, you got to do it. It's amazing. And I'm grateful to God for it. It's interactive. You can watch all our programming. Our team has been working so diligently, and we gave them some time off this month in July. I mean, we've been doing pre-production and with development, pre-production and production for season 7. This is really like season 12, to be honest with you. Well, because when we first started, for the first year, we didn't do seasons, but we just started it. We're getting ready to go into season 7. And man, when I tell you, this is going to be the best season we ever had. And hopefully we'll be able to announce the new season with our big announcement for Hope TV. Man, less than 2.5 years, God has done something that I never imagined. Even the idea of this was something that, and I'm a person who's always a man of faith and believe in God, but the idea of this is something that I never even fathomed. That's how big this is. And because of Hope TV, the doors are opening. And so, my God, I'll just take the limits off God. And Ephesians 3:20, now unto him who is able to do exceeding abundantly above all you can ask or think, which means if you can ask it or if you can think it, God can exceed it. So God can do some things that you've been asking or thinking about. God can do over and beyond that. And that's what this is. This is an Ephesians 3:20. I never asked for this, never even thought of this, but it is major. And so I'm excited about it. And so Hope TV, so welcome to you. Thank you. I want to congratulate our team again. 19 Tilly Awards they just won. And people from all over the world are taking notice, so shout out to them. All right, let's get into our Bible study lesson. Blessings to you, Gary. Good to see you. Glad you're here with us today on Facebook. I hope I was well with you, Gary. Miss you. Thanks for everything, all your support. I just want you to believe that God can do exceeding and abundantly of all you can ask or think. I don't care who you are, where you've been. Take the limits off God and just trust God to do what God wants to do in your life. I don't care how many mistakes you made. I don't care how up it's been, how down it's been. You heard Lawrence in that song, I'm alive because there's more. And to that we say to God, thank you, Kat, for something small, absolutely. And those of you in the Memphis area, Linda Gray, that's right, Linda. According to Providence, if you're in the Memphis area, I want you to join us tomorrow night. I'm going to be preaching at the New Salem Baptist Church for Dr. Frank E. Ray tomorrow for the Frank E. Ray Preaching Conference. So if you're near Memphis, I know there's a registration, but I think the night services are free. But if anybody, if you're near, blessings to you. Hello, Shaka. Blessings to you. From North Georgia. All right. So if you're near Memphis, New Salem Baptist Church, I'll be preaching tomorrow night for the Dr. Frank E. Ray Expository Preaching Conference. So if you're in that area, you can come by and check us out tomorrow in Memphis. All right, but I'm excited again. It is amazing, and it's going to be an incredible time. Hope TV, y'all keep looking out. Keep looking out. Now, remember I told you it's going to be a massive, massive, massive blessing. All right. Now, also keep us in prayer. Next week is the Stellar Awards. It's going to be in Atlanta next week. And amazing. And some of you who have known me for a while know I've loved music my whole life. My dad played guitar in my hand when I was 3, started playing piano at 5, and ended up on drums and bass guitar, choir director, singing, all that good stuff. I started preaching. And when I started preaching, my mentors told me, man, you got to leave, stop. You can't be no choir director and be a preacher. So I just put music on the back burner, sing in church. But long story short, my mother always wanted me to do it. She passed away, made a promise I would do it before she died. She passed away. In the pandemic, I said, you know what? I'm going to do some stuff to tribute my mom. And I released my project last year, and I'm up for 4 Stellar Awards my first year. Isn't that amazing? And so what an amazing blessing. And so next week is going to be in Atlanta. On Friday, we're having something at the church. We're partnering with the Urban Soul Cafe. It's going to be huge. So I think a lot of Stellar tickets are gone. You probably didn't get them on Ticketmaster a few, but they went so quickly. But if you want to be a part of the Stellar any event, they have a celebrity game that's Thursday, but Friday morning and Friday afternoon at our church, House of Hope, we're doing a Stellar a joint venture with Urban Soul Cafe and Tracy Artists and a few others. And there's going to be some of the great artists are going to be there. It's called Urban Soul Cafe. We're going to be honoring that day. We're going to be honoring Jonathan McReynolds. He's going to be there. Pastor Charles Jenkins is going to be there. We're honoring him. We have, my goodness, we have Pastors JJ and Trina Hairston. We're going to be honoring them. The choir master Ricky Diller, we're going to be honoring him. And also Snoopy, we're going to be honoring her. And so I want you guys to come on, and you can get your tickets at www.urbansoulcafe.com. It's going to be huge. So those are my honorees. And of course, Ricky Dillard, Charles Jenkins, Jonathan McReynolds. That's a Chicago thing. All them from Chicago, of course. John and Ricky from Chicago. And of course, Pastor Jenkins lived in Chicago 20 plus years. JJ and Trina Harrison, they're going to be there. And Snoopy, they're going to be there. We're going to honor her, Deborah Snoopy. And so it's going to be amazing. We're going to have appearances and some music going to be brought that day. Bishop Hezekiah Walker is going to be there. We're going to be honoring him. Who else is going to be there? We got Dawkins and Dawkins. They're going to be there. The Walls Group is going to be there. Kia Stevens is going to be there. We got Pastor Michael Lampkin. He's going to be there. Pastor Courtney Franklin is going to be there. Titus Showers is going to be there. Oh, man, we got so many others. It's going to be an amazing event. And they're going to be singing and performing. So y'all make sure y'all come and check it out. It's going to be July 15th, starting at 10, maybe 20. It's going to be there. Got food's going to be there. So it's going to be an amazing event. So if you're in town and want to see some great music and be around some great people, July 15th, you can get your tickets, www.urbansoulcafe.com. All right, now let me get to my lesson. All right, I've been working on this lesson this morning, and I'm doing a series this whole month called Corona Love. It's a relationship series. You're right, King. It's a beautiful way to start off the year. It's called Corona Love. And so this whole month, I'm going to be dealing with this. It's kind of relationships on a variety of ways. I've been talking to a lot of my therapists and counselors who have been just inundated. They've been inundated with a lot of issues pertaining to relationships and how COVID has just affected us relationally. And so, of course, I start preaching on this Sunday. So I'm going to preach on Sundays and then come back and talk about it more on Wednesdays. And so I was not in person Sunday for our in-person worship. I was preaching in Dallas, Texas Sunday. Just got back in. And so, of course, I preached online, but I was not in person Sunday. I want to thank Dr. J.C. Howard for filling in for me, and he and Pastor Connor for holding things down in my absence for in-person worship in Atlanta and at the Decatur and West Point location. But I'll preach 3 times this weekend in Dallas. And shout out to one community church there in Plano, Texas. Dr. Conway was my friend. What an incredible ministry there. And yeah, we had a great time. And you sure did have a great time, team. It was amazing. Spirit of God in that place, and we thank God for it. All right. So the series I'm going to be doing this whole month is called Corona Love. So it's going to be interesting each week. But today we're talking about a confusing love. Now I need you to do me a favor. You get your outline. I have the Bible study outline for you. I just finished this outline right before I got on here. I wanted to make sure I couldn't find my sermon notes anywhere from when I preached it. So I had to go back and try to figure out what did I say. So thank my team for working with me. So I want you to, if you want to get the outline, I put the whole outline for you. Just finished it before I got on here. So you can go to website. Thank you, Sean. It's the church website, www.hohatl.org, Corona Love, www.hohatl.org. And this is our new website. Shout out to our media team, Sheldon and Benton. My goodness, that website looks amazing. I don't know if y'all checked the website out yet. If you haven't, they just revamped it maybe a couple of weeks. It's maybe 2-3 weeks old. Man, it looks so good, man. They did a wonderful job with it. It's beautiful. And shout out to the team, man. I don't need notes. Well, I want notes for y'all. So some people want the notes, so I want to have the notes for y'all. So that's what but that's the website there. They did a great job with the website, and check it out. The Bible study notes are not loaded yet. Okay, team. All right, they said they're not loaded. Well, Sean, the reason why they're not loaded is because I just finished them. So can y'all get those Bible study notes uploaded, team? I thought I was trying to give them some time to get them uploaded, but we're gonna get them uploaded for you now. We're gonna get them uploaded for you now. Hold on one second. We're gonna get them uploaded for you now. We're gonna get them uploaded for you right now as we speak. Let's get these Bible study notes uploaded. Yeah, so we can get them uploaded. All right, so we're gonna get those notes uploaded for you now, and we're gonna be ready to go. Okay, so let's get these notes uploaded. All right, let's drop some prayers. All right, great. So to God be the glory. All right, so what we want to do now is we want to get right into it. Hopefully, they'll be up. They're gonna let us know, and she'll let us know, or whoever's producing will let us know when the notes are up. All right, so I'll get them up for you before the end of this Bible study. So we're gonna put them on screen right now for a second, but I want y'all to have the notes, and it's my fault. I take responsibility. I got them to my team late. Okay, so they all gonna get them to you, but I apologize. Y'all forgive me, all right? Y'all forgive me. Corona means, yeah, it does. That's right. Look at you, Kelly. All right. With your linguistics here. All right. So this whole month is Corona Love, and it's interesting. A couple things I want to state. Monday was 4th of July, and I want to tell you how I was thinking, how this message came together about confusing love, because that's one thing the therapists have been saying is confusing. So I was thinking about Sunday, like, okay, well, Sunday is the 3rd, Monday is the 4th of July. So I was thinking, okay, how do I bring this series in and tie it into the 4th of July? Thank you, Daryl. I appreciate you, Daryl McAllister. Blessings to you. And I thought about how, the therapist is saying everything is confusing, right? And with coronavirus. And then I said, well, That's for the third. Well, the fourth is confusing for people. This is how I kind of tied it. Just trying to get y'all in my mind how the sermon came together for Sunday. I was like, well, the fourth is confusing. You know, when I was a boy, I loved the 4th of July. You know, the fireworks and grilling and hot dogs, the 4th of July. I just love the 4th of July. July 4th, 1776, just loved it. You know, nothing like the fireworks. That's the only time we had firecrackers. And, you know, when you grew up grew up in the inner city, you could get a chance to pop some firecrackers, see some fireworks. We didn't really have fireworks year round, really. But 4th of July, you had fireworks. So it was exciting, you know, family barbecue, that kind of stuff. But as I got older, when you start thinking about what does 4th of July mean for people? And then when I got in college, Frederick Douglass, finally found out what he wrote. He had a speech he called "What is the 4th of July to a Slave?" And if you never read that, it's amazing. And Frederick Douglass talks about basically. Frederick Douglass talks about how does a slave celebrate Independence Day? Because July 4th, 1776 is when we declared our independence from Great Britain, from the tyranny, etc. Right? But Fred Douglass was saying, what you want me to celebrate? How can we celebrate independence when we are enslaved? I mean, this is a brilliant speech. What is the 4th of July to a slave? And so imagine people celebrating the 4th and saying the Star Spangled Banner, but enslaved still getting whooped. Who's independent? And so to this day, when you think about America's freedoms, and America's a great country. I love our country, but me loving our country doesn't mean that I'm blind to the challenges. Yeah, I'm not. I am a critical lover of America. I love America. It's my home. There's no other place I would rather live. You know, where else would I rather live? When I think about it, I love America, but America is not a perfect. It's not a perfect country. There is no perfect country. There's no perfect nation. We won't get that until we get to heaven. This is my home, right? I've been around the world, but I love America. It's my home. It's what I know. But America has challenges, right? And when you think about, a lot of people are not free, right? When you think about the injustices and inequalities, it's tough. There are a lot of things that have marginalized and disenfranchised African Americans for a long time. I mean, if you study the history of our nation, from slavery to Jim Crow to the Civil Rights Movement, if you look at it on a chart, I had a chart that showed at one time a timeline from 1525 up until now. I mean, not a whole lot of that, not a whole lot of history has been independent for all people, whether it be women, minorities, blacks. So we can't be so blind to celebrate the 4th, really Independence Day for blacks. And it's more Juneteenth should be more celebratory when you think about it. And I didn't know much about Juneteenth until I got to Morehouse, right? I didn't celebrate Juneteenth growing up, right? So, but Frederick Douglass was like, I'm confused with 4th of July. How you want me to celebrate independence when so many others didn't have those opportunities? It's up. Okay, it's up now. Thank you. I told my team was clear. They're killing it. So y'all can go to the website now and get my notes. Oh, look at y'all. Okay, sick. Y'all got some new fonts up there. Yep, go to I'm New, HOHATL.org. Hit I'm New. The first drop down box will be Bible study notes. And there right there, you get all the Bible study notes. And you can even download them if you got a printer in your house, a wireless printer, you can download and from your phone. You know how to do it, go get your 5-year-old niece to show you how to do it, all right? But anyway, so the Bible study notes are up. www.hohatl.org and go right there, and it's right there, and you can download it. All right. So it's hard for a lot of people to celebrate the 4th of July, when you celebrate it, I celebrated, but I'm still thinking about we got a long way to go as a nation. I don't know if you Sunday or Monday rather during the 4th of July celebration in Highland Park, a shooting there. 7 people got killed. Right. Dozens of people shot. Another mass killing in our nation. You know, we talk about gun reform. The guy who shot had some challenges, issues. They they fled from the police initially. They arrested him with no incident. They arrested him with no incident, right? But in Akron, Ohio, a young boy fled the police. A little different scenario, but fled the police, and he ended up with 60 bullets in his body. You know, it's amazing how you can be stopped for a traffic violation and end up with 60 bullets in you, and yet you can kill 7 people and put 20 more in the hospital, and you can be arrested with no incident. I mean, so when you look at it, happens all the time how unarmed people can get shot for selling loose cigarettes. Unarmed people get, I mean, George Floyd, they say for trying to cash a $20 counterfeit bill. I mean, you name it. Tamir Rice, a 12-year-old with a toy gun. When you think about, you know, Eric Garner selling loose cigarettes, we get killed, and yet others commit mass murders. Dylan Roof up in Charleston, South Carolina, kills 9 people in the church, and they take him to Burger King to get him a #1 combo. You know, it's just, so when you think about the 4th of July of America and the independence and equality for all, unfortunately, we haven't Sandra Bland traffic stop, and the list goes on and on and on. You know, Breonna Taylor shot in her house. You know, so the list goes on and on and on and on. And so you want me to celebrate independence and the nation being free, but it seems like everybody in the nation is not free. So how do we celebrate that when there is not equality, right? So that's confusing. So that's how I tried to tie that into. I'm gonna run through the sermon, right? So then I move from there. That's how I connected 4th of July in with this message, because I try to bring the current events in with it. So just show you how I did that, right? Yeah, they right, Tasha. They did say, yeah, I did see that today, that the guy was dressed in women's clothes to disguise himself. I mean, kill those people, dressed himself in women's clothes, discarded the clothes and the guns, then fled from the police, killed 7 people, and arrested him with no incident, with no challenge. I mean, nobody, not a scratch on him. And yet another kid who was unarmed, he fled police, but yet 60 bullets in his body. 60. But you want me to celebrate 4th of July. Yeah. So I want you to so this is why it's like, okay, how do we celebrate it? But Freddie Douglass said it, you know, 200 years ago. What is the 4th of July to a slave? What is it to a slave? How do we celebrate the 4th of July when it doesn't? So that's confusing, right? So that's how I open the message, right? Right. But then I came from that to talk about what I've been talking to with our therapists and counselors and pastors across the nation and social scientists. And what they're saying that this has been a confusing time for people this season relationally. A lot of people have struggled relationally during this time. Just like the 4th of July, do I love it? Do I celebrate it? Do I celebrate it? Some people trying to figure out this whole time, right? It's also caused confusion. Y'all right. Hate is real. Confusing time. So just like the 4th is confusing, social science is saying this is a confusing time because COVID has caused confusion in relationships. I mean, and we talk about all kinds of relationships, whether it be platonic, romantic, familial, vocational, spiritual, work-related, you name it. It's just, this is a very confusing time, right? And because people are now disagreeing over COVID restrictions, parents are disagreed, is confused over child vaccination, and even some people are confused because now you got people there are some people, this amazed me, who are even confused about the very existence of the virus. I've talked to a few people in our church who y'all think the virus is real. I had one person on our team because when we were pre-recording our worship services, right? We pre-record our worship services. Throughout the pandemic, we would pre-record so y'all can have worship on Sundays. And we come to record because COVID got so bad. I would have the people get tested when we came to record. So I would have the people come in and test us. So that you're gonna sing, you're gonna preach, you're gonna play, your camera operator, you're gonna feed us, because we'll be there all day long recording. And so I would have them come and test. I bring the company in and test us all to make sure if you're in this room, you good. Because we're not gonna be in here saying Pastor Smith got COVID. So we do tests. And some of my people like, y'all really believe that's COVID? These are African American people. Like, we get tested for this. Why we paying money to get tested? Pastor, you can say that. I don't believe it. So you got people right now who on Facebook and their cousin told them in the barbershop shop there's no COVID. These are black people. I'm not talking about far fringe right wing conspiracy theorists. These are black people saying there's no COVID. I don't take COVID. They're gonna put a magnet in you, and the magnet gonna follow you, or something to do with your phone service. All just kinds of, you name it. If you take COVID and you get your hair cut, your head gonna fall off. It's all kind of stuff, right? And so a lot of people, it's pushed relationship to the breaking point, according to family law experts and psychologists. All right, next slide, please. Next slide, please. And so there's a UK-based consultant, clinical psychologist, Alex Desagnick. He told NBC that fractures, right? That fractures, conflicts, high-level conflicts has caused a relational stress, and in couples they say it's even phenomenally high. You got parents. I got a couple of my buddies, my white brothers, who their parents won't take the vaccine, or they watch Fox News all day long and Joe Rogan, and they're taking all kind of stuff that for dewormers. You name it. So it's caused fractures with parents and children, siblings, but it's also caused more stress even in couples. Relational stress, they say it's at an all-time high. I'm talking to people who saying, I've been in therapy for 20 and 30 years, and I've never seen relational stress like this. You're right, Tina, grow extra limbs. You're right. And COVID had all of us paranoid. I was on a plane last week, and every time somebody cough, I got a mask on top of the mask on top of the mask. And these folks walking through the airports and ain't mask up. I be like, Lord have mercy. Y'all say what you want to say, but I'm gonna look like Mr. Wrestling #1. Don't y'all remember wrestling? Wear the mask, Tony Atlas. I'm gonna have my wrestling. Listen, man, I'm gonna wear my mask. I don't care what y'all say. You're exactly right. It's PTSD, and even in couples, it's phenomenally high. Next slide, please. Okay, I'm building this whole confusion. Next slide, please. There's a divorce lawyer called Lisa Beth Older, right? And she's been practicing matrimonial law for 30 years in New York. And what she said was that she's also noticed that many of the disagreements she has seen lately have been specifically about children, about COVID, but with children, with a particular flashpoint. That now couples they're going crazy over kids, right? Saying I alluded to it earlier. Next slide. This is crazy. Next slide. This is what she said. The most common conflict I see is where the custodial parent have different outlooks. The custodial parents have different outlooks on COVID and how it affects their children, she said. So you got parents, same house, because you got affect education. Will the kids get the shot? My boys, man, we had to go back and forth. They just, my son Kamari, like, dude, you gonna get that shot, you're gonna hit him on 3 legs. He's in Morehouse, and you know how you're young and you read everything with young people. I want you to get the shot, Daddy. You're gonna have 3 arms. Like, well, look, man, at least I'll be here in 10 years to have 3 arms. That's mean I just got an extra arm to hug you with, or an extra arm to give you money, or to put on your cash app. So I just another hand to touch cash out when you call for it. So it's just all kind of stuff, right? But even kids are affected by it. Next slide, please. Next slide. All right, I'm going somewhere. Next slide. All right, all right. So here are all the issues pertaining to COVID. You got COVID-19 denial, right? People who deny it. You got vaccine, and this is white and black. It's not just white people who deny COVID. It's a lot of black people. You know, every time somebody died, did he get the shot? So he got that shot. Should have got that shot. My great friend Deion Sanders had a blood clot in his leg, and he's been very public about it. And I walked through him. A lot of people don't notice Deion almost lost his leg. And I was going back and forth in Atlanta to be with him when he was in the hospital. He's in the hospital, and people were saying to him, and somebody had the nerve to tell him last week, he was talking about it. He ended up having to get two of his toes amputated, big toe. And somebody said to him, this is what somebody said to him. Said, when you took that vaccine, that's why your toe ended up. He been having problems with his foot. But again, these are black people, so it's not just a white black thing. COVID denial, right? Vaccines, mask mandates. Got some people who don't want to wear masks. I've been talking to a couple of my pastor friends, and some of them have released the mask restrictions. I was preaching at church Sunday, and they released it in Texas. Some people wear masks. A lot of people didn't wear masks. And when I got ready to fellowship with the people, you best bet I put a mask on. A lot of places where I go and sing or preach now, when you get there, you have to do a COVID test. And shout out to Bishop Jake, because he's the first one I saw him doing that. When I went to Bishop's church back in December, before you get to the back to be around anybody, you got to take a COVID test. You sit in the room, and that COVID test comes out, you can't get back there. So, a lot of churches now have released the mask mandates. I still tell a lot of people you got to wear yours. COVID numbers are up, so I'm just not over that point, because I've had to bury too many people. But it's confusing. Fractures, difficulties. That you're exactly right, Tina. Fractures, difficulties, conflicts, stress, relationship challenges, marital conflicts. Even with COVID, when you have to work in the house, working at home, those first couple months when you wasn't getting out, going on vacation, whatever, when you got to be around somebody all the time, it revealed pre-existing fractures. That was a time when you can go to work or go to vacation or get out, but when everybody was kind of quarantined, it made it, if you didn't like your spouse or like your family prior to quarantine, COVID made it worse. You can't go out to your girlfriends to dinner, or you couldn't do this. So it just was a horrible time. And it revealed and you're exactly right, Michelle, it's not over yet. People say there aren't as many deaths from it. People are still dying from COVID. Maybe not different strains. It's still out there. So you got pre-existing fractures, right? It's affected relationships, husbands, wives, brothers, sisters, work relationships. You got to work at home, educators. It's just affected everything. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. I'm almost getting to my point. Now, okay, I'll take that out for a second. Now, so when I saw that all these things happen with COVID, it's okay. 4th of July is confusing. So tell with that, I said, and now all this stuff is happening now with COVID, and it's confusing. Therapists like, we don't know what to do. Even government, they're confused. I said, so it's a confusing time. Corona love. How's it affected us in our relationships? I'm just showing y'all my mind how the sermon came together, right? Then I thought about, when did in the Bible, how many other people had relationship struggles when they were in the house, when love seemed confusing. And I went through several passages trying to find the right one, because the Holy Spirit putting the sermon together, okay? 4th of July is confusing. That was the intro. COVID has been confusing for relationships, right? So our relationship with the country It's confused. I'm just trying. I'm putting my sermon together for y'all so y'all can see how it came together Sunday. So 4th of July is confusing. Love-hate relationship. COVID has been confusing, right? But in the Bible, who else had a confusing type of family dynamic relationship? I went through 4 or 5 different passages and put 4 or 5 different sermons together, right? I looked at different texts. I looked at David, Amnon, Tamar, and I looked at David and his brothers. I looked at Cain and Abel. So I went through all those passages to try to figure out, okay, how do I speak to the times and to the country? And after working through about 4 or 5 texts, the best one I came up with actually was not Adam and Eve, wasn't Cain and Abel, wasn't David, Amnon, Tamar, David and his brothers, Saul. The best one I came up with, or the one that really just came alive to me, it was this story in Luke 15, a familiar story, but I had never looked at it like from this perspective. Okay, let's go to Luke 15, and it's the story of the prodigal son. And what happens in that story in Luke 15, I'm gonna use the Message Bible. You got a father and 2 sons, right? David and Joseph. I looked at several of them and trying to figure out. I was trying to parallel it to what the therapists were telling me the challenges were, right? But this is the one that really just, man, it came to life. But it wasn't the only one I looked at. And you got a man, 2 sons, older and younger son. The wife is not there. The wife is not mentioned there. I don't know if she's involved. It was interesting because I said, well, maybe because there is a patriarchal normative in the text in the Bible, patriarchy in male-dominated society. So women would be disregarded. But Luke was different because Luke wrote about women more than anybody else. Matter of fact, he just talked about a woman in the same chapter. So I said it was interesting that this is the only one that didn't mention a woman. Talked about a woman who lost a coin. So Luke knows how to mention women, but the mother here, you don't know anything about the mother here. Just like David's mother. And I always wondered why did he mention the wife? Maybe she's dead. I don't know. But anyway, you just got 3 main people: the father, 2 sons. Well, the custom was that the older son would get his inheritance first. When you read this passage, the older son didn't ask for the inheritance first. The younger son circumvented the normal process of being heir, went to his dad, give me mine. Right? That's the problem with a lot of these kids. If I was preaching, he has the gimme syndrome, this sense of entitlement. But I'm not getting that because it's a whole other sermon. His father gives him his inheritance, the younger boy. He goes out and wastes it and rides his living. Just went buck wild. Went so wild that inevitably he ended up working in a hog pen, taking care of hogs, which was the most detestable job that any Jew could have. Hogs, pigs were detestable animals, and there was no way a Jewish boy should have ever been working in the hog pen. That was the most lowly, most filthy of jobs. That's how they saw it in the 1st century. One day he comes to himself, says, I'm out here in the fields. I can go back home to my daddy. Let me just go back home and tell my daddy, I've sinned against you. Make me one of your high servants. So you don't have to don't even let me be a son. Let me be a servant, right? So he gets up, goes home. The daddy was waiting for him. Some of you heard this story. The daddy was waiting for him. The daddy greets him with a robe and a ring, throws a party for him while the other son is working, okay? Now, so while the boys come back home, the daddy's throwing a party for him. Look, here's how we penetrate our text today. Right, here's the passage we're going to look at. All this time, the older son was out in the field working. So the younger boy's in the house having a party. Who's wasting his living? The one who's been with him is out in the field working. Right? And when the day's work was done, he came in. So he's working. He ain't partying. He's been there with him. And he approaches the house. He hears the music playing and dancing. So he called one of the other servants, the houseboy, and say, hey, man, what's going on? And he said, hey, man, your brother came home. And your dad a feast, a barbecue beef. Lord have mercy. To my 4th of July. That's not like that. 4th of July had some beef for him. I was trying to make a parallel because he has him home sound and safe. Your daddy threw him a party. All right, next slide, please. Next verse. I'm putting it together for you. The older brother stomped off in an angry sulk and refused to join in. So we're going to stop right there for today. So that's going to be my first point. So let me put it all together for you. So you got a family in the same household, but the COVID-19 of wild living and had separated them, not in the same house, father, 2 sons, and right now they're not together. You're right, Gary, stake. So they're in the same house, but it's not together. They're in the same house, but they're not on the same page. There's a schism here. There's a problem here. The dad and the younger son are cool, but the older son is not happy. He's angry. It's some tension and some stress, some fractures, some conflicts are going on with this relationship and this relationship dynamic. All right. Now, what is the conflict? And I got four or five things for you. I'm looking for you. The first challenge here is what I want to call this unfairness and no consistency. And this is one of the things that's happened with COVID-19, that people feel like there is unfairness and no consistency. And this is why I felt drawn to this passage for this message. Unfairness and no consistency. Now, what do you mean by that? The younger son goes out, wastes everything he's been given. And the King James called it riotous living, and the Message Bible calls it wild living, right? So the younger son, he's been in Skid Row, Mama will call it, right? We got a place back home where I'm from in Macon called Booger Bear Bottom. He in the lowest of lows. He's on Skid Row, right? But he comes to himself, comes back home, and the daddy really is the prodigal, because they call it the prodigal son, but it's really the dad is really prodigal, because prodigal means lavish, it means extravagant. And I suggest the father is really the more lavish. He's extravagant and he's lavish with his love. You're right. That boy, he's definitely was about that life. He stood out. He went wild, went buck wild. But now he comes back home. The dad is so excited, throws a party. The oldest boy has a problem. He's angry. Why is he angry? He's angry, number one, because I'm out here working in the field, and this boy got a party with music and barbecue beef, steak. Gary said steak. I'm serving, and he got steak. So he feels that there's some inconsistency in his home. And a lot of times what has happened is COVID-19 pointed out the inconsistencies in a lot of us, in a lot of relationships. Like, this is inconsistent. You know what I mean? It's like, if I'm doing all this for you and there's no equity, you got me? And so people are feeling like, people are feeling like, okay, this is not fair, because I'm going all out the way to do what I'm supposed to do, and you're not coming, and you're not being fair to me. And so that's what is happening. So a lot of times people like, if I'm giving all I can, and yet you don't come back and reciprocate that, that's a feeling of inconsistency. If I'm showing all my love and you're not showing me love back, that's a fit. No, that is Book About Bottom. You know that? No, that's the name of the place. It's in Macon, Book About Bottom. Y'all laughing? That's in Macon, Georgia. So what happens sometimes, even in relationships, is like you love somebody or a spouse. I'm giving all I can to them, and they're not reciprocating. Or I'm a friend. You're the friend that you're doing always. You're checking on everybody constantly. You're always giving to them, but then now that you and COVID is kind of revealed, like, okay, man, there's no fairness here, and that. So, wait, and There's no consistency. You know what I'm saying? So what happens here is that it's an amazing time because it's shown. Um, you know, how does that work? You know what I'm saying? How does that work when I'm doing all this and then it's not being reciprocated? And so what happens is when you got feelings of inconsistency, and what happens is when there's no equity, it can make or break whatever you're trying to build, and that's really what has happened. And so um, many of us right now, even with siblings, if you got parents, you'd be surprised if you got those who have parents, those who have parents, those who have parents that that it seems like. And the parents feel like I'm doing more for one, or I'm doing more for one child than the next. Un- Inconsistent unfairness. I'm giving my all, or one child gets treated better. That's what Cain and Abel. Cain and Abel. I looked at that passage. His parents treated them differently. That one felt Cain was great, the other one wasn't as great. Same thing. Feelings of inconsistency. And so when you think about it and look at it, it's very problematic when there are feelings of inconsistency, and feelings of unfairness. And that's really what's happening. Um, those feelings of inadequacy, those feelings of inconsistency. When you think about David, David had 7 brothers. 7 of those brothers are invited to come to the coronation. David's not even invited. So what happens when you've been the one who's rejected, right? Jealousy amongst siblings. When I talked about Sunday, when I first started dating, y'all remember back in high school when you were dating, and if you bought a girl or something for $10, then you want her to buy you. Well, if she buy you, it need to be $10. Don't let me spend $10 for your gift. And they do this in class. They do this in classrooms, right? They do this in classrooms now. Like if you're gonna buy a gift for the fourth graders, make sure it's at least $5, because it's this equity. And sometimes I've seen it. I've seen it over in all kind of relationships. There are some of you right now. It's like you're giving more to your spouse. Secret pact, yeah. You feel like I'm giving more than I'm getting back. And so the oldest son says, wait, I am serving and he's celebrating, right? I'm out in the field working. He in the house having a good time and he left. And so feelings of inconsistency can cause issues. Dealing with issues of inequity, right, can make or break relationships. When you feel like you have equity, do you feel like you have equity? You don't feel like you have equity. It can make or break relationships. And so that's what's really happening. And he would not celebrate. He would not celebrate. Go to point 2 right quick. So he's not going to celebrate the other. I'm going to move to point 2. There's an unwillingness to celebrate. What do you mean by that? The text says, put it back up there. Put that scripture back up there. The main scripture, verse 25. I'm going to hit it again. He does not celebrate. Look, all this time, his oldest son was out in the field. When the day's work was done, he came in. He approached the house. He hears the music and dancing. Called over one of the house boys. He asked, "What's going on?" He said, "Your brother's come home. Your father's ordered a feast, barbecue beef, because he has come home safe and sound. Man, your dad is throwing this boy a party because he's home safe and sound." The next verse says that the older son was angry and refused to join in. Stop. He refused to join in. He stood outside. He wouldn't go into the party. Okay? Now put the points back up, point 2. Here's another thing that I think what coronavirus has brought to the forefront when I'm talking to my therapist. The unwillingness to celebrate. You'd be surprised how many people we're in a relationship with won't celebrate you. Blessings to you from Cameroon. Blessings to you, Sam. No secret. We got our brothers here from Cameroon, from Africa. Blessings to you. Blessings to you. Won't celebrate each other. This brother won't celebrate how many spouses won't celebrate the other? It's the expectation that this is what you're supposed to do. You can see all the stuff that's wrong and point that out, but won't celebrate the stuff that's That's positive. You know, it's amazing how we take consistency for granted. People won't celebrate you. People won't applaud you. You'd be surprised how many men want to tell their wives, you're pretty. Uh, she can get a haircut or dye, he won't even notice it. New outfit, new knit, no celebration, no, it just gets in this whole monotonous rut. Some of your friends won't celebrate you. They won't celebrate your promotion. Watch how your friends act when you get a blessing. Your promotion will often reveals the authenticity of those who people who are around you. You want to know who's really with you? Get blessed. Watch who does not celebrate when something good happens for you. Watch them. Watch their faces. Watch who's really half-hearted. Watch who doesn't bring chips to the party. They don't bring in wings because it's about them. Sometimes people will celebrate you as long as you've been blessed together. But the moment it's time for you to get blessed and you get promotion, you know, they won't celebrate you. You know, just watch it. Just go through another. It proves a whole lot when you can tell those who don't celebrate your success. So the question is, what makes us not celebrate the blessings of those we love? Selfishness and unresolved issues can lead to trauma. So you have to ask yourself the question, why won't he celebrate the return of his brother? His brother's been out there and he's home. Why won't he join the celebration? Watch those people, when somebody says something positive about you, watch the people who always have something negative to say. They always got to put a but on it. Watch it. You know, yeah, he did a good job. Yeah, but in high school, they always got to diminish. There are people who can't just be happy for you. They have to celebrate. Right. Promotion. He feels slighted. He makes it about himself. Everything can't be about you. Right? What he really felt like he deserved something that the other one didn't. And I'm thinking, and when you think about this on a real sense, there are a lot of people that in COVID, we don't celebrate. Even parents with their children. You know, sometimes parents can push overachievement so much. You know, the dad that want the son to win the Heisman Trophy in football, and he didn't even play for the B team, for JV. It's just pushing. You know, the dad wants the boy to make all A's and have a 4.5 GPA, and you got out with a 2.0. So they're always pushing, overachievement, failing to sacrifice, right? It's pushing. Child make a 3.8, make 4 A's, 4 A's, 2 B's, should have been all A's. Is that living? It's like all the good that they do, there's no, hey, I'm proud of you, doing a good job, but you point out the one thing. Now, God knows I know that, man. I mean, I would do so many things, and I don't know. I think this is how I was raised. My dad just wasn't gonna say that was good. You did a good job. That wasn't coming in no way, shape, form, or fashion. And I think sometimes it was to keep you hungry, but just push. But one thing happens wrong, and I think we do that to each other. We communicate the wrong, but we never are grateful for what's right. And I remember Dave Wilcoxon, he was one of our mentors and leaders from church back in Macon. He did a relationship conference one time. He was like, whenever you address the inequities of the thing that's wrong in a relationship, say for instance you talk to your spouse or you talk to your child, the first thing you want to do is you want to establish what you appreciate. You know, I appreciate you for, you know, you making good grades. I appreciate you for keeping your room clean. Spouse, I appreciate how you take care of the kids, and you cook, you keep the house together, or and give me a list of things that you appreciate, a list of things that are going well. And while I'm grateful for the things that you're doing, I appreciate doing these things. Here's some things that bother me. You just did this. Here's some things that I want you to work on. You'd be surprised how much more effective communication would be if before you just jump on the stuff that's wrong, you start with a list of what is right. You start with a list of what you appreciate. You start with a list of how they're blessing you. And then you segue. You'll be surprised how much different things will be by taking that route. And sometimes we just don't look at it from that perspective. And we just jump on what's wrong. And so instead of this boy thinking about, my dad's throwing a party, it's because my brother has been gone, right? He decided to come back home. You'd be surprised what you do the next time your spouse, your kid, or your brother, your mama, or your sister, or coworker get on your nerve. Listen, man, I appreciate you for being somebody. You make me laugh. When I need you and I'm down, I can call you. Last year I was going through a rough time. You were there for me. You made a loan, or you love me, or you cooked, or you clean, you take care of the kids. Start with that, and then once you establish that, then you say, but I've been bothered. Some things you've been doing have really been angering me and bothering me. Then you switch to that. Secondly, right? You'll be surprised how much more palatable that is for a person to take versus somebody jumping at you and coming at you wrong. And so what happens is, and I'm getting ahead of myself, but the unwillingness to celebrate. How many of us, that's right, Joshua, how many of us don't celebrate? And so selfishness and also unresolved issues can lead to trauma. I mean, it could be that this boy has some unresolved issues. The older son has some unresolved issues. It could be because of the absence of his mom. You know what I mean? It could be that the mom is not. I don't know this, but the mom is not mentioned. Could it be that she died? Could it be that she was absent? Could that have had an effect on both of them? Could that have affected all three of them? The dad, the older son, and the young. Could the younger son want to leave in rebellion because his mother died? Could the older son wanted to stay with his daddy because he didn't want to be alone? You see, so it could be all kinds of different things and nuances that are happening, and all of them are affected by it, right? All of them are affected by it. Yeah, all of them are affected by it. So, but we got to learn how to celebrate, and we don't do a good job at celebrating each other. Celebrate. There must be and this boy is unwilling to celebrate. He won't go in. His own part, he won't go into it. And how many of us in our situation won't do it, won't encourage, me, when somebody celebrates me and lets me know, when I feel like I bless somebody's life, man, ain't nothing. I fight a gorilla for them. It's really a word of affirmation. When a person feels appreciated, I don't, you don't have to buy me nothing. Just let me know, man. You let me know I'm appreciated. I don't need money. I don't need clothes. I can get all that myself. You know what I'm saying? Just let me know I'm thankful. I appreciate, man, just that word. You'd be surprised because we all have different ways we show love. But sometimes when we don't just appreciate, celebrate, and too many of us have people in our lives and too many of us in relationships, we want to be celebrated, but we never celebrate others. This boy, and so COVID has brought that out. That's another issue that I was. Let's go to number 3. I'm almost finished. Let me go to point 3. Another problem. Everything I'm giving you, I'm getting this from the therapist, and it's right here in this text. So number 1 was the unfairness, no consistency that COVID has really exposed. Unwillingness to celebrate each other. COVID exposed that. Here's another one: unhealthy communication. COVID has exposed unhealthy communication in relationships. Right? COVID has exposed that. Right. All right. Yeah, I'm the same way. You ain't got to cook for me. You ain't got to clean for me. None of that. I can clean myself. If I can't do it, I'll pay somebody to do it. You ain't gotta cook for me. I can't cook. I can buy my own food. I can get a chef. Listen, man, it's just you be surprised. Because when you do for so many people and they nobody come back and say thank you, right? But unhealthy communication. Let me keep going. Right? Unhealthy communication. All right. Let me put the text back up here. Put the text back up right quick. Let me show you because it's in the text too. Unhealthy communication. It's in the text. Put the scripture back up there. Check it out now. All this time, his oldest son was out in the field. Right? When the day's work was done, he came in. As he approached the house, he heard the music and dancing. Calling over one of the houseboys, he asked, "What's going on?" He told him, "Your brother came home. Your father has ordered a feast, barbecue beef, 4th of July, because he has him home safe and sound." Next slide, next scripture. Now check it out. That's why I use this version because it's right there. You got to get it. Next, now you're missing if you're not watching. I want you to see where I got that point from. The older brother stomped off in an angry sulk, refused to go in. That he wouldn't celebrate. Now check this out. Watch it. You'll miss it if you're not careful. His father came out and tried to talk to him, but he wouldn't listen. Y'all see that? But he wouldn't listen. But he wouldn't listen. His father, the older is angry, won't celebrate. The father comes out, tried to talk to him, but he wouldn't listen. Put it back on me. Put the camera back on me for a second. Do you know what the problem is with a lot of us? It's really a 4-word sermon. But she wouldn't listen. Do you know how many things could be resolved? But he wouldn't listen. The challenge with unhealthy communication is, but they wouldn't listen. Do you know how many things can be healed and improved? But they wouldn't listen. I call that the unhealthy communication. Right? How many things can be resolved in your situation? But he wouldn't listen. Let me share this with you. Very important. Put point 3 back up there. I'm almost finished. Yep. Here it is. Communication is a key to successful relationships. Communication. If you can't communicate, the inability to communicate means it's not going to work. And what happened with COVID, it put everybody on top of each other. And people got sick of each other. Right? But he wouldn't listen. Right? And I saw something. I was preparing for the message. And it was funny. It said that women have 11,000 words a day. And men have 6,000 words a day. And the challenge is when they go out and work, by 5 o'clock, the man done used 6,000 of his. And the woman has used 6,000 of hers. But when they got home, she still got 5,000. She still got 5,000 more. Now that's just what I saw when I was preparing for the message. I mentioned that Sunday. I thought it was funny, but it was a real quote. But which means his words are gone. So she still want to talk. He ain't got nothing to say. So right there is a natural disconnect because they got more words. They're gonna be more expressive, and we don't say much. So we got a natural disconnect, right? But the inability to listen destroys relationships. Just because somebody's talking don't mean that's communication. Just because you yelling and screaming don't mean that's communication. Just because you huffing and puffing and cussing don't mean that's communication. Well, what is communication? Communication, listen, I love this. Communication is the sending, receiving, and confirming of the message. It is the sending, receiving, and confirming. See, here was sometimes you say, I told him. Just because you told him don't mean you got the message. I told him he should know because I told him. No. Just because you told him don't mean they got it. Sometimes you get first. I keep telling them. Yeah, but you keep telling them, but does that mean they got it? See, here's what I'm on, because I'm not gonna be able to finish this day. I see I'm gonna have to pick this up next week. Here's what I want to share with you right quickly. Some of you remember Burger King and McDonald's, right? There was a time when you went to Burger King and McDonald's, and you could say, I'm going to Burger King. I want to get me a fish sandwich. A chicken. I'm going to Burger King. I want to get me a chicken sandwich with onion rings and a Coke. You talk to the people on drive-thru, and they come back and say, you want a Whopper Jr. with fries and a Dr. Pepper, right? What that means right there is that you sent the message, but that wasn't receiving the message. You wanted a chicken sandwich, onion rings, and a Coke, right? They heard Whopper Jr., fries, and Dr. Pepper. So you get around and get your order, and you pay the money back in the day, right? And you go home or drive off, look in your bag, and you got a Whopper Jr., fries, and Dr. Pepper, when your mouth was set for a chicken sandwich, onion rings, and a Coke. That was the sending of the message, but not the receiving of the message. And now you frustrated and you cussing because I told them. That wasn't communication. But now what they have, when you go to most of them now, you go and place your order, they have an LED screen out there. And when you place the order, they put that on the screen. A lot of them do that now. A lot of restaurants, they put the screen up and you can see what you ordered on the screen for you to confirm it. Then you can stop right there and say, okay, no, you put that, I wanted this. So you can see it. Because that means that's the sending of it. But the question is, and the receiving of it. Right? To make sure it's correct. Then when you get around to pay for it, sometimes they have two windows. One for you to pay, then the second one you get your food. Then they repeat it again. And then what you do, and then sometimes they stick the receipt on the bag so you can look at it back or just look in it. My point is that, so communication, just because you said it, does not mean they got it. So it is the sending of the message. It is the receiving of the message. And then it is confirming what you heard. So I heard it, you sent it, then you make sure they receive it, then they confirm it. Right? So when somebody says, you hurt my feelings, that's the sending of the message. What you can't say is, I ain't hurt your feelings. I'm sorry you took it that way. That ain't communication. You can't tell me how I feel. You hurt my feeling. No, I ain't hurt your feeling. You just, no. See, somebody's sending a message, but somebody ain't receiving it. You hurt me. That's the sending. The receiving of it is, so you saying I hurt you. Yes. I hurt you. It is not listening to refute. It is listening to receive. What happens a lot of times in our communication, we listen to refute saying. We listen to find holes in what they're saying. We listen to tear up their argument, to disregard, because now we want to be right. That's not, you're not communicating. That's the sending of it, but not the receiving of it. And then the confirming. So so we got to try the Burger King and the McDonald's model. I'm gonna send it. I'm gonna make sure I receive exactly what you said. I'm not gonna add to it, and then let me confirm what you said. And you're right. And some folks don't have a mic, or the mic ain't working, and that makes it more difficult because a lot of us, our mics ain't working, because all we want to do is find a way to refute because we want to be right. Right? But here's what a lot of us do. You hurt me. Well, that's ascending. Well, if I did something to hurt you, I apologize. Keep that. Please keep that. Please keep that apology. You hurt my feelings. Well, if I hurt your feelings, would you please go and take that and wipe yourself after you had bowel movement, please, with that? Because that's what that apology is worth. When I tell you you hurt me, don't qualify with no if. I just told you I hurt. An apology is not if I did it. Don't put no qualifiers on there. The apology is, I'm sorry that what I said hurt you. The apology is, I didn't mean to hurt you. I'm sorry that my words hurt you, but that was not my intention. Obviously something I said hurt you. I apologize for what I said to hurt you. It was not my intention. That's apology. Not if I keep that, because that's not authentic. So a lot of us right now, with the sending, receiving, and the confirming of it, there's no communication. No, because it's like we have a desire. Our desire to be right is more important than our desire to be reconciled. Reconciliation is the goal, not being right. You know, if somebody tell you how they feel, that's how they feel. You can't tell them how to feel. That's what they. And I've had that happen before. Pastor, you hurt my feelings. I didn't know. I didn't mean. I was talking to a pastor friend of mine 2 weeks ago, and he asked me, did I know this pastor? I said, I don't know. I said, I don't know him. There's another pastor in Atlanta. He said, man, this guy's been mad at you since 2008. 2008? Said, yeah. What are you mad at me about? He said he reached out to you for you to help him, and you treated him like he was nothing. I said, now, bro, I've been, anybody who knows me knows I will give you the shirt off my back. What do you mean? I don't even know who the guy is. Don't know his name. If he slapped me, I wouldn't know who he was. But here it is, all these years later, 14 years later, this guy has been hurt by something he said I didn't help him. And I don't remember. Nothing. He said you could have been a friend to him, and I spent my whole life helping pastors. So he been holding. So we got other issues. I said, but why not come tell me, man, you hurt me? I don't know when. I have no idea. No idea. But what happens is, you see what I'm saying? Is what happens. And so my point is, if you're not sending the message, receiving the message, and confirming the message, there's no way you get it right. Put the points back up there right quick on that. Put that points back up. I'm gonna stop because I'm not gonna be able to finish this. So listen, what COVID has revealed is unhealthy communication. Communication is a key to successful relationships, right? The inability to listen destroys. If the guy told me I hurt his feelings, I would have said, man, tell me when. What did I do? Because I don't even remember. And if I did that, I would apologize. Man, I have no problem. But I don't know, but I can't fix something you won't tell me. Communication is the sending, receiving, and confirming of a message. We should listen to understand and not respond or refute. So the problem with this text is that the prodigal refused to listen. He wouldn't listen. Yeah, it's 14 years. And if he'd come to me and said, man, I'd have squashed that a long time ago to do the dinner, whatever. I don't even remember. Tell me where I was. What happened? Maybe something was on my mind. Maybe it was when my granddad had just died. Maybe it was my grandma, my grandparents. I don't know what you're talking about. But if you don't, maybe my little brother had just died. I have no idea. But if you don't share, there's a problem. Exactly. You want sympathy. Yeah. And you angry about something. I don't know. Right? So you should listen to understand and not respond or refute. So that brother came to me and said, you hurt me. I came to you for help. I was a pastor and you didn't help me. I would say, tell me when did this happen? What was I? What did I say? Who introduced us? Where we at? What did I do? What did I say? Brother, I don't even remember this. Or brother, you say I did that. It doesn't sound like something I would do. I don't know what's on my mind. But since you say I did that to you, brother, I don't even recall it. But since you say I did that, let me apologize for my actions. Because it was not my intent. I don't remember none of that. But fix it. Can I offer you my sincere apology? Because you've been carrying this for this long. Obviously, I did something. And why that doesn't sound like me, anybody who knows me knows that's not my normal actions. I can introduce you to people who know. I can introduce you to people who know me. That's not how I normally operate. But if that's how I operated in that situation for you, then I offer you my sincere apologies. How can I make amends? Can we go to lunch? I'm not going to tell you it didn't happen. You say I hurt you. I don't remember that happening. But if you've been carrying this 14 years, obviously something. Let me make it right. So I wouldn't be listening to respond or refute him. I want to listen because I want reconciliation. I want to make it right. I want the situation to be right versus me being right. And what happens in that text is the older son refuses having a conversation. All right. I got two more things. I'm gonna let you go. All right. I'm gonna finish this. All right. Because I got so much next week too. All right. Unhappiness and no compassion. All right. So that he's unhappy, he has no compassion. What are reasons for his unhappiness? What are reasons for his unhappiness? Why is he unhappy? Right? What are the reasons for his unhappiness? Why? Why is he unhappy? Right? Why is he unhappy? He's unhappy, right? What are the reasons for his unhappiness? That's the question. He's unhappy because the father's done something for him, right? For the brother that he didn't do for him. So he's unhappy with it, right? And so that's the issue. He's unhappy, right? He's unhappy. And so that's the issue. All right? So he has no compassion, no sympathy, no empathy. What do you have? The question I want to ask you is, why doesn't he have sympathy or empathy for his brother? He has no compassion. He's unhappy, no compassion. Why? His pride, his feelings were hurt. He wanted it to be about him. Well, let me get ahead of myself. Put the scripture back up there. I'm almost finished, y'all. Y'all give me 5 minutes. Put the scripture. He said, your father ought to feast barbecue beef because he has him home safe and sound. Next slide. The older brother stumped off in an angry sulk and refused to join in. His father came out, tried to talk to him, but he wouldn't listen. Now it says, the son said, look how many years I stayed here serving you, never giving you one moment of grief. But have you ever thrown a party for me and my friends? Then this son of yours, who has thrown away all your money on whores, shows up and you go all out with a feast. Whew. Deep. Go back. Go back, please. One slide. I got to unpack that. He wouldn't listen. Now he tells the truth. Look, many years I stayed home here serving you, never giving you one moment of grief, but you've never thrown a party for me or my friends. So that's jealousy there. There's a bit of insecurity there. He's the oldest. I really want to feel like, and I don't know this. This is me just trying to unpack this. I feel like this has been there all the time. I really feel like he's been angry with his daddy since the young one left. I really feel like he's been mad with his brother since he left because it was supposed to be him to get his to leave first. I don't think this just happened with this. I think the part that triggered what had been there. Now the text don't say that, but this is just me psychoanalyzing this text. He been holding this in for a moment. Because I don't believe this one moment, I think it was a trigger. Because he was supposed to got his first. So he's broke. You throw him a party. You ain't throwing me one for me and my friends. Then look what it says that then this son of yours. Now he refused to even call this boy a brother. That's why I don't believe this just happened. I believe he was holding this in. Because he didn't say, then you throw my brother a party. He said, this son. He refused to even call him his brother. Throws away all your money. So now he's no longer my brother. Now he's your son. That's why I believe this has been brewing for a while. And like COVID reveals stuff that's been brewing with a lot of us for a while. It's been underneath the scenes, but it brought to the forefront. So he's unhappy, I think, because he's been carrying some stuff for a while. I think he's carrying his own trauma, his own issues for a while, and now this whole incident, the party triggered it. He feels like the daddy favors the other one, right? He feels like the inheritance should have been his. I feel like this is a trigger. The party was a trigger. It triggered something. Maybe he still heard from his mom. Maybe it's got something to do with his mama, but it triggered. He's angry. He wants to party. Make it about me. Everything's been about him. Nothing about me. Maybe he's the baby of the family. You know, babies get away with everything. Y'all know how the babies of the family get away with it. Older son get tore up, the baby don't get nothing. Maybe it's been brewing a long time. Right? Maybe this has been brewing, and now this son of yours. And here's another thing. Now I see some projection in the text. It said, then this son of yours who's thrown away your money on whores. How do you know where his money was spent? You didn't even talk to him. Who told you he spent money on whores? Where did you get that from? He spent your money. He spent all your money on whores. How do you know that? To me, that could be projection. To me, that could be saying, if I got money left, I'll be spending my money. Because you don't know where to spend it. You ain't seen it. That's what you call projection. And sometimes people do that in relationship. They project when they say things. Politicians do it all the time. The one we just had in the White House, you know what he gonna do because he put it on other people. Fake news. Right? It's projection. They're really saying, if I was in that situation, this is what I would do. They're gonna steal the election. Why are you saying that months before? It's projection. But then you go all out with a feast. So he's unhappy. Right? Next slide. I'm almost finished. One more I'm gonna talk. I'm sorry, I'm way over my time. His father said, son, don't you understand? You with me all the time, and everything that is mine is yours. I don't have to throw you a party. Everything you already got it. But this is a wonderful time, and we had to celebrate. This brother of yours was dead, he's alive. He was lost, and he is found. And guess what? I'm closing with this. Last point, unforgiving character. I'm done. Unforgiving character. Unforgiving character. Look, we never see reconciliation. We never see reconciliation. We never see him going to party. Unforgiving attitudes are death nails in relationships. We never see reconciliation. Here's my question. Does he think did the younger brother owe the older brother forgiveness? Or an apology, really? That should be apology. Do you think the younger brother owed the older brother an apology? Can you change that for me? Did the younger brother owe the older brother an apology? That's what that point should say. Y'all forgive me. Did the younger brother owe the older brother an apology? Yeah, an apology. An apology. Did the younger brother owe the older brother an apology? I was thinking about that. Did he? Did the younger brother sin against the older brother? It's really against the daddy. If he apologized, would that make him better? Would that make it better? If he gone to the brother and say, I'm sorry, would that have changed the brother? Does the younger brother think it's necessary to apologize to the older brother? If the younger son had gone to the older brother too to apologize, would that have made the difference? Yeah, I'm just thinking about it. Or should he celebrate anyway because his brother was lost and now he's back? So I'm just trying to look into this thing because we never see reconciliation. I don't know what happened with this story, but we never see the younger and older brother. Maybe if he had apologized to them both, maybe it would worked out. But the older was in the field. Somebody said, "Not the brother was really yeah." Maybe if he apologized to them both at the same time, maybe an apology to the father and brother. That's good, Brian Carter. But he was out in the field. The dad didn't give him time to do it. Here's my point. I think an apology probably would have helped the older brother. But my problem with the older brother is, I think the younger brother could have made things better by apologizing to the older brother. But at the same time, the older brother can't allow his character to be changed by not getting an apology. There'll be some times in your life when you won't get an apology, but you can't even change who you are. You can't be traumatized and spend the rest of your life. There'll be some people who will do you wrong, who will never apologize. But you can't let that change who you are. You and I have to learn how to live life without getting an apology. You and I will have to learn how to move on and have a heart that's still right and pure, even when you have not received an apology. Some folk won't apologize. But if the lack of apology changes who you are, then that means you're stuck in offense forever. And you have allowed a lack of apology to keep you in offense forever, which separates you from God. If the lack of apology changes your character, you have given them power. So not only do they hurt you in the moment, but they're gonna hurt you perpetually. So it's not just momentary hurt, it's perpetual hurt. You can't allow anybody to change who you are with their refusal to apologize. Because your relationship with God is more important than an apology. Your anointing, your access to God, your approval from God is more important than a human apology. But what if it's a parent or a grandparent that caused a hurt? Nobody can hurt you like your parents. Nobody can hurt you like your family. If I told you some of the stuff I've gone through in my life, it would make you cry. But there are no conditions on it. You and I have to learn to release the hurt. You and I have to learn how to release the pain. You can release the person without reinstating the position. Triggers can't hurt. But I got to release you. I got to know when to release and when to reinstate. The forgiveness for me ain't about reinstatement. It's about release. When you hurt me, I can release you, but I ain't got to ever reinstate you. Forgiveness means I release you from the pain. It doesn't mean I reinstate you to the position. Now I can reinstate you if God, that's no, but it doesn't mean forgiveness doesn't mean you got to reinstate them. It just means you release them. So this is confusing love. Yeah. Nothing can hurt a daughter more than a daddy. Dad is hurt, mama's issues. Some of us have mama's issues and some of us have daddy issues. That sometimes is passed on generationally. But what I appreciate about the father is he's trying to make it right. And I want to believe that eventually the daddy got through to him. But at least the dad is not, forget you, I don't care what you're saying. Let me get a father credit for trying to reconcile. When somebody hurts you, you release them from the pain. But it doesn't mean you have to reinstate the position. I release you from the pain, but it's not reinstatement of the position, not necessarily reinstatement of the position. Yeah. Well, I hope you're blessed. I got to close down. I want to pray with you. If you want prayer right quick, if you want prayer, I'm way over my time. I'm sorry I had y'all so long. If you want prayer, my God, I've been on 2 hours. If you want prayer, I want you to text me at the word prayer, the 678-201-1351. Yep. 6, and we're going to pray for you today. Yep. You can text prayer because some of you got to release some stuff. Some of you got to release some stuff, but also some of you need to be one to make the first step towards reconciliation. You know what I'm going to do today? I got an idea. I want y'all to pray for me. Y'all know what I'm going to do? I just got convicted. My friend told me about this pastor. I found this about last week, 2 weeks ago, who I supposed to hurt 2008, right? I'm going to ask my friend, would he give me permission to reach out to this pastor to apologize? And I cannot teach this and me not. I'm gonna ask my friend, is it okay for me to reach out to this guy to apologize? To tell him what you told me and try to make it right. I'm gonna do that today. That's my homework. My mentor, Dr. Matt King Carter, says every good lesson should leave you with some homework. Since I know this guy has said he's been hurt 14, I don't know who he is, never seen, don't remember seeing nothing. But since I know this is what I did, according to him, today, when I get off this lesson, I'm gonna call my friend and ask him, will you give me permission? Will you put me together with this guy so I can call him to apologize? I'm gonna do it today. I'll let y'all know how I come out next week. I'm gonna do it today. Y'all pray for me because I don't even remember none of this. But I'm gonna do it. Because I can't tell y'all to do it and I don't do it. And I'm convicted by it. So some of us need to release. Some of us need to be daddy and go try to have a conversation. Yeah. If I remember, I would have told y'all, yeah, I said this, y'all, then I would tell you, but I'm gonna do it today. As soon as I get off this line, I'm gonna call my friend and ask him, can you connect? I'm gonna try it. I'll let y'all know how to turn out next week. But some of us need to release, because here's the thing about us. We love to talk about when we were hurt. Oh, they hurt me, I gotta release them. But how many folks have you heard? Who do you need to reach out to? Some of us need to reach, some of us need to release, some of us need to reach out to reconcile. You know, some of you ain't always the innocent one who always hurting you. Come on, cut the foolishness now. And I'm so sick of sermons about haters. No. It ain't always that people hurt you. Some of you are doing some hurting. Some of us are doing some hurting. So let's cut the BS now. So some things we need to release. Some stuff we may need to reach out. So I'm gonna do it today. When I get off this line, I'm convicted by it, and hopefully see. So y'all, I'm gonna pray for y'all, and y'all pray for me. So if you want prayer, if you want to connect to this ministry, so we can be in a family to help us keep us accountable and moving forward. And you don't have a church home, whether you're in Atlanta, Alaska, Decatur, Dubai, Georgia, or Ghana, you can reach out right now. You can connect with us. 678-201-1351. I'd love to be your pastor. If you don't have a church home, you can be an email, a cyber member right now. You want to be a member, 678-201-1351. Yeah. So you can pray, connect, or if you want to be saved, you want to accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and your Savior, right? And Pastor, to be sure that I can be saved. Listen, the Bible says if you confess your sins, He is faithful and just to forgive us our sins and to cleanse us from all unrighteousness. He'll come into your heart and love you unconditionally. I don't care what, God is love. And I don't care where you've been, what you've done, He is the God of love. Not the God of religion, not the God of rules, but the God of love. And this can be your step. Thank you, Mr. Nellis. If you got to reach or if you got to release or reach out, Jesus Christ can give you the strength to do it. Right? Jesus gives you strength to do it. All right. One last thing. If you want to be a blessing and so to give, we only ask for offerings on Sundays and Wednesdays. You want to give. You've been blessed by the ministry and you want to give. You can give today through text to give, 678-201-1351. HOHAT for tithe, HOHO for offering, HOHAGF, God First is our building program. You give through Cash App. You blessed today? This was a sermon therapy session. You can give Cash App, HOHATL, right? You can give through the website, our new website. Click the giving links on the website, follow the prompts accordingly. So text, give, Cash App, website, and last, you can give through the P.O. Box. Our P.O. Box is P.O. Box 361-499, Decatur, Georgia, 30036. Again, P.O. Box 361-499, Decatur, Georgia, 30036. A couple things I want to run by you again now. Communication is this sending of the message, the receiving of the message, and confirming the message. So just because you said it don't mean stop. I told him. Don't mean that ain't communication. That's from I told him. Just because you told him don't mean you communicate. Stop telling him. I told him. That's the problem. Your tone off. Your spirit foul. I told him. I keep telling him the same. That's not how you want to do that. You want to told him. I want to communicate. Let's communicate. Sending a message, receiving of that said message, and then confirming that was a message that was sent. Remember the McDonald's model, right? Apologies. We talked about that. Projection. Stop putting on others that was in you. And remember forgiveness, releasing from the position, releasing from the pain, not necessarily reinstating the position. I can release you without reinstating you. Just because I forgive you, I mean I gotta trust you again. You can release the person from the pain, but that doesn't necessarily mean reinstate them to the same position. All right, I love you. Hope you were blessed. I'm sorry I preached an hour and 20 minutes. I had you on an hour and 40 minutes almost. But hope you got the message. Hope y'all got the message. Tune in Sunday. It's gonna be a great message Sunday. Y'all gonna be blessed. So this whole month, we're talking about Corona love, relationships, all types. So y'all check it out. Y'all pray for my phone call today, because I want to try to make things right with this dude. I feel committed, and I'm gonna do it today. Y'all pray for me. I pray for y'all, and y'all take care. Love y'all. Just always remember this. If you'll be good to God, God will be good to you. Till next time, peace. Love y'all.
Look who's back like we never left. And I even invited Corey to join me.
Crystal, you don't got to do that. I'm always here for the people, even though you're not. So we know a lot of y'all are firing up the grill in preparation for tomorrow, but today the focus is on Jesus. Ooh, it's something about that name, Crystal. It don't happen like that when somebody say your name, but it's something about that name, Jesus. But let us give y'all this good information right now. Now, if anyone, that's me, huh? If you or anyone you know is struggling with a hurt, a habit, or a hang-up from depression, anxiety, addiction, or abuse, please join Celebrate Recovery as we embrace healing and renewal through Jesus Christ. Now, meetings are held every Tuesday at 7 p.m. via Zoom. Just email us at the address on the screen if you want to sign up today.
Now, since we know that hard times happen to all of us, if you're sick, experiencing bereavement, a life transition, or a crisis, our congregational care team would love to assist you. Just text the word CARE to the number on your screen, and a member of our care team will reach out to you.
And we believe in simplicity. Now, if you need prayer, just text the word prayer. If you want to be saved, text the word salvation. And if you'd like to become a member of the House of Hope Atlanta, just text the word connect to the number on the screen.
Family, help us to replenish our food pantry, please. We need non-perishable food items such as canned goods, breakfast foods, canned fruits, and vegetables. Now, you can drop off your donations every Thursday in the atrium from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And please don't leave food outside.
And if you fall between the kindergarten age through 12th grade, I can't talk today, make sure you join Hope Youth and Kids every Sunday and Wednesday on our Zoom platforms. Now, we have a session for K through 5th, and there's one for 6th through 12th. So just go to Hope Youth Now on all social media platforms for more information.
And if you're between the ages of 21 to 39, join Young Adult Small Groups every Thursday at 7 o'clock p.m. For more information, follow at the Union ATL on all our social media platforms.
And this is for all the men, yeah. Our House of Hope Men's Life University meets every Saturday at 7:30 a.m. So all you got to do is just reach out to us via phone at the number on the screen to sign up today. And do it today, man, okay? Now,
we're done for this Sunday, but until next time, remember that life with God is better in every way, every day. Be blessed.
Now, Crystal, what's tomorrow looking like for the Jakes family? Like, are you putting something on the grill? You got the chicken, the bratwurst, the sausages, the pork chops. Nothing? Crystal, really? 2022, folks don't cook no more. I don't know what's that about.
Enough people.
What does your family eat in a weekly basis?
Ain't nobody going starving. Okay?
Are you cooking what they eat?
No.
See what I'm saying? Folks don't cook no more. This is a new age, new day. We're coming to y'all house to eat.
Said I'm free, y'all.